My sister wanted my house. My parents sued me. And my kid exposed the lie that brought it all down. They called me ungrateful while plotting behind my back. They used silence as a weapon. But when my daughter showed the judge what she'd recorded, an act they thought no one saw, it turned the courtroom upside down. Subscribe for more unbelievable family betrayals and drop a comment. Where are you watching this? Hi, I'm Matt, 35, architect dad, and formerly the human version of a utility drawer in my family. Last month, my 7-year-old accidentally saved us both with a single tablet video in court. You don't usually picture your life changing because a kid pressed play on an iPad. But here's the thing. They weren't supposed to press play. They weren't supposed to be there. Kids aren't supposed to be in courtrooms where the people they call Grandma and Grandpa are trying to evict their dad to give her aunt a starter home. But let me back up. Not too far. Just to the last time I was stupid enough to believe Sunday dinner meant safety. My family's not loud. That's the trick. We do passive aggression like it's a professional sport. My sister Ava once hosted a baby shower for a friend where the theme was crystals and calm, and she still managed to get into a fight over napkin folding without raising her voice. My mom wears pearls to therapy. My dad thinks "I'm proud of you" is a complete emotional interaction. But hey, we're family, right? So when I moved into the little carriage house behind my parents' place 2 years ago, post-hospital bills, post-savings depletion, I wasn't asking for charity. I paid for materials. I gutted the place, installed real insulation, modern wiring, new egress. My own hands. I fixed their main house too. Ice dams, sump pumps, the roof that always sighed when it snowed too hard. They called me helpful. They meant permanent. Until that spring dinner. We were at the kitchen table. Roast chicken, lemon oil. Ava swirling her wine like she was performing an ad for grown-up stability. And then she dropped it. "It's kind of perfect back there," she said. "Like starter home perfect for me." That was the click. The one in my head, like when a floor joist shifts just enough to tell you, "Hey, the structure's changing." I said nothing. Not yet. But I saw it. Saw it on their faces. The way my mom's silence tightened like a ribbon being pulled. The way my dad suddenly had trouble carving. The way no one met my eye. That was the moment I knew. They weren't offering Ava a new start. They were offering her mine. And I was supposed to move, quietly, respectfully, like furniture. They didn't expect a fight. They really didn't expect Nora. I didn't get angry. Not yet. Anger is noisy, and my family only hears quiet things. What I got was methodical. I started taking notes the way I do when I inspect a building about to fall down. The shift in how my mother offered leftovers. Less often, cooler in temperature. My dad used to swing by to check the boiler. Now, he hadn't in weeks. Ava came around more not to see us, but to squint at walls like they were hers. And then came the folder. You know the one. My mom invited me to coffee near my job site, a cafe with fake copper tables and a menu that called Toast Artisanal. She ordered peppermint tea. She always drinks peppermint when she's about to pretend she's being gentle. She said they'd been talking, and my stomach sank. My parents love to talk when they want to sound democratic, but already made a decision. The folder was light. That made it worse. Inside was a draft of a family tenancy agreement, some real estate comps, and a sketch of the lot lines, like a child's treasure map, except I was the ex they were trying to dig up and repurpose. "She's been saving," my mom said. "For what?" I asked, but I already knew. "For her first home," she said gently. I laughed, not mean, just confused. "You mean the one I live in?" "She wants that place," she said, like she was announcing a baby's gender. "She can want anything," I replied. "But I live there, with Nora." My mom smiled like I was being dramatic, like a man who didn't understand how important equity is for a young woman. "This is just about next steps," she said, sipping her tea. 90 days. That's what the draft said, A soft boot in 3 months. They used words like legacy and gift, like it would wrap the betrayal in a silk bow. I told her I wasn't a lamp. You don't just move me when the room changes. But she just kept pointing at the folder, at what's fair. Fair. The most misused word in family. Fair means you didn't love one kid more than the other. Fair means you don't sabotage one child's life to decorate another's Instagram feed with new house keys. I thought maybe that'd be it. Maybe they'd cool off. But they escalated. 1 week later, certified mail arrived. Plaintiffs, my parents. Defendant, me. They were suing me. I stood on the stoop holding the green card receipt like a warning label on my own name. Nora came outside, blinking in the sun, still in her pajamas, tablet under one arm. "Why are you making your thinking face?" she asked. "Because grown-ups are being silly," I said. The complaint said I was a trespasser. It said my license to occupy the space had been revoked. It said Ava's reasonable expectation of owning her first home was being interfered with. It was dressed in legal logic, but it felt like a betrayal in costume. I called my dad. "You sued me." "We didn't sue you," he said. The lawyer handled the paperwork. "So you hired a lawyer to sue me. It's not personal." "It has my name on it," I said. "That makes it personal." They wanted me out. So Ava could own something, like I was a leftover bike in the garage. But I didn't rage. I printed proof, rent transfers, emails, a thank you note from my mom about covering taxes, photos of the renovation, screenshots of me pulling permits with my dad's encouragement. I started treating this like what it was. Not a family matter, but a property dispute with people who just happened to share my blood. Jess, my ex, was calm when I told her. "I'll take Nora more if you need," she said. I asked her to keep Nora away from the courtroom, and she agreed. But that didn't quite work out, because Nora doesn't follow adult instructions when the stakes feel big to her. She brought her tablet. She brought the truth. And when the judge gave her the floor, my daughter, 7 years old, honest as breath, pressed play. The courtroom was beige, tired and quiet in that humming way public buildings get when truth is about to happen. The bailiff stood like a statue with a stopwatch in his chest. Ava wore a white blazer like a trophy wife running for local office. My parents sat next to each other, same side of the courtroom, same shoulder lean, like this was a church pew and not a civil lawsuit to evict their son. Jess sat behind me, because she still believes in people even after what I put her through. And Nora sat beside her, crisscross applesauce, tablet in her lap, earbuds in, coloring on a legal pad like she was drafting her own statement. I hadn't even noticed she'd brought it. I thought Jess had taken it back to the car. The judge was late 50s, reading glasses on a chain, hair in the kind of bun that suggested she knew where all the exits were, emotionally and architecturally. She called us forward with the energy of someone used to family drama disguised as legal procedure. My parents' lawyer stood up first, as smooth as butter left out overnight. He talked about permissive use and the revocation thereof. He spoke about Ava's timeline, about young women needing equity, about how I was interfering with her first shot at building something. He used first home 5 times, like it was sacred. Then it was my turn. I stood, folder in hand, mouth dry but steady. Architects' pitchboards. We know how to show work. "I'm not a squatter," I said. "I'm their son," I explained. The renovation, the receipts, the monthly transfers with memo lines that said, "Carriage house electric, April insulation, roof patch." I handed the judge emails from my mother thanking me for covering taxes, texts from my dad asking me to pull the permit, because my name got things through faster. Not true, but sweet that he believed it. Then Ava spoke. "I'm not the villain," she said. Too glossy, too quick. "I've been saving. I deserve to feel safe." "You do," I said. "It just doesn't have to be at my expense." My dad interrupted then, voice up, full volume for the first time. He was only ever supposed to stay until he got his act together. "I've had my act together for a decade," I said. "You just didn't like the script." "Enough," said the judge. Not angry, just final. I've heard enough. And then Nora stood up. Like lightning, like a bird knowing the window is finally open. She tugged Jess's sleeve, then walked to the front of the room with her tablet. "Your Honor," she said, soft but steady. "Can I show you something Daddy doesn't know?" The entire courtroom inhaled at once. The judge blinked. "Who are you?" "I'm Nora. I'm 7. The judge looked at me. I nodded. "What else could I do?" "You may," she said. Nora walked the tablet to the bailiff like it was the crown jewels. He brought it up. The judge hit play, and there it was. Our living room. Clear as day. My mother and Ava in the house while I was at work. Ava pulling the battery from the carbon monoxide detector like it was a nuisance, not a life-saving device. "Don't touch that," my mother said in the video. Voice casual, not corrective. "If the inspector fails him, he'll have to move out," Ava said. My mother lifted papers from my desk. "We'll just say we thought they were old." Then Nora's voice from the stairs. "Hi, Andy." Ava froze, but not for long. "Hey, Peanut, secret. Don't tell Daddy we were here. It's a surprise." "What kind?" Nora asked. "The kind that's good for the family," my mother said. The video ended. Nobody breathed. Nobody moved. The judge handed the tablet back like it was nuclear. She looked at my parents. "Do you want to be heard?" My mom opened her mouth, then closed it. "We didn't mean," she started. The judge raised a hand. "We are not going to pretend this is about female empowerment," she said, "when I just watched a coordinated attempt to sabotage safety equipment and manufacture a code violation." Then her voice dropped. "Equity," she said, "is not about theft wrapped in good intentions." My dad muttered, "He's ungrateful." "No," I said, not angry. "I'm done being rearranged." The judge ruled. Petition dismissed. With prejudice. Injunction issued. They were not to step foot on the property again without my consent. She referred the matter to the housing authority. And then, to Nora, she said, "You did the right thing." Nora blinked. "Are we moving?" "Not today," the judge said. And that was the sound. Not a cheer, not a boom, just the click of something locking in place. Safety. When we got home from court, the first thing I did was press the CO detector's test button. Beep, loud, alive. Nora gave a little cheer. Jess hugged her on the porch. "You were brave," she whispered. Nora shrugged. "I didn't even cut the video. I thought the judge should see the whole thing." Inside, I just sat, staring. Not at the walls I built, but the space itself. Quiet. Mine. Safe in a way that wasn't about locks, but truth. The calls started before I even made coffee. First my mom, then my dad, then Ava, then the landline. Because when guilt doesn't get an answer, it tries every number. I didn't pick up. Instead, I ordered new locks. Not because I thought they'd try again, but because I didn't want to wonder. I found an electrician who wasn't me. Told him I wanted a fresh set of eyes on the panel. While he worked, he asked, "You the architect who did the library expansion?" "Yeah." "My niece loves that place," he said. "Feels safe in that little nook." That word again. Safe. People think safety is alarms and fences, but it's also knowing no one can take what's yours. It's your kid never being told to keep secrets. A day later, the texts changed tone. From my mom, "We overreacted. Let's talk." From Ava, a long message about stress and pressure and being misunderstood. From my dad, "Family is messy, right? That's what people say before they ask you to clean up the mess they made." So I didn't respond. I built instead. Nora had always wanted a loft bed. I sketched it out, measured, cut, sanded. She gasped when I showed her the plan. "It's like a castle," she whispered. We built it together. She handed me screws, reminded me where I left my pencil. It was the best Saturday I'd had in years. Then I wrote the letter. Not legal, just mine. 1 page, clean, delivered to their mailbox with a solid thunk. Mom, Dad, Ava, I love you. That hasn't changed. What has changed is access. No more keys, no more surprise visits, no more timelines I didn't agree to. We won't be at Sunday dinner for a while. If we talk, it'll be with a therapist. Don't call Nora to explain. Don't post about this. This isn't revenge. It's closure. We are staying. We are not debating. We are building a life. Signed, just my name. No love. That part's earned now. They didn't reply, but Ava pivoted, posted a picture of a key on Instagram. Caption, homeowner vibes, tagged at a condo across town, comments full of digital applause. Good for her. I meant that, just not from my home. A day later, my mom called to ask how the boiler was doing. You know, children need a yard. She has one, I said. It's 20 steps from our door. Well, if you won't forgive us, I do forgive you, I said. But I don't live under you. Click. Then a text from my dad. We're updating our wills. I put my phone face down and traced out drawer fronts for Nora's bed. Week 4, I saw Ava at the store. She gave me a half smile. We should talk, she said. We are, I answered. You always make me the villain. No, I said. You chose the part. She stepped closer, then noticed the aisle camera and backed off. Enjoy your little shack. I looked at my basket. Milk, eggs, maple syrup, screws. I will. The new locks didn't just click, they confirmed. Every time I turned the key, it felt like the house exhaled. Not louder, just secure. Mine. Nora felt it too. She made a sign in bubble letters and taped it to the front door. One word, home, and under it, smaller. No secret visits. I didn't ask her to. She just did, like she knew what we needed. That first weekend with the new locks, we went to the lake. No plan, no agenda. Nora wore her hoodie backwards to hold snacks. We found driftwood and built a bridge across a little muddy dip. She named it the Bridge of Nope because it sagged when I stepped on it. We laughed until she fell backwards into the grass. We didn't talk about family. We just were. That Sunday back home, Nora drew plans in crayon. A snack tower, a reading nest, and a scream closet for yelling into pillows. I told her she was a genius. She said, I know. Meanwhile, the apologies kept shifting. My mom emailed a photo of lasagna. Made this, thinking of you. Ava posted a story captioned, Family is everything, smiling stiffly with my parents on her new condo balcony. My dad texted, You can't just cut us out. I answered, Silence isn't cutting out, it's healing. Then came the letters. Real mail. One from each of them. My mom's was full of warm memories, like she was trying to prove her case with birthday cakes. We're still your parents, she wrote. That has to matter. Ava's was a blend of apology and deflection. I just wanted something of my own. I didn't think the CO thing would work. I'm not evil. My dad's was blunt. You're too sensitive. We did what was practical. You're still in the will. Like that was supposed to soften the blow. I read them, once, then filed them in a drawer. Not because I didn't care, but because I did. Too much. So instead of answering, I kept building. I added side shelves to Nora's bed, sketched a small back deck with old wood I'd saved, bought paint samples and let her pick the new color for the living room. She picked one called Cloud Day. Looked like sunlight and calm. We painted on a Sunday. Music on, windows open. The house felt lighter, like it understood. Jess dropped by with Nora's library books. She stepped inside, paused. Feels different, she said. It is, I told her. That night, while brushing teeth, Nora asked, If someone says sorry but doesn't change, is it still a real sorry? I looked at her in the mirror. Depends. Sorry for what? For hurting someone. Then no, I said. Not if they don't change. She nodded like she already knew. Next morning, I found a note under the door. My mom's handwriting. Let us try again. We're ready to talk. I didn't write back. Instead, I took Nora to the library. We curled into that reading nook I designed, the one kids say feels safe. Nora picked a book about bridges. I picked one about boundaries. We read in silence, together. Life got quiet. Not empty, just ours. Saturdays weren't booked with family chores or sudden emergencies that always somehow aligned with Ava's schedule. They were slow, simple, full. Nora and I made lumpy pancakes and named them like superheroes. Flapjack the Brave, Captain Burnt. She ate 3 like they were from a diner. We built a bird feeder out of scrap cedar and hung it on the fence. She named every bird that came. That one's Gerald. He's dramatic. No one asked me to fix a fence. No one texted about lasagna. It was strange, then peaceful, then just normal. Then the texts came. From my mom. We've been thinking. Maybe we should talk to someone. Ava, I'll do therapy, but I don't want to be attacked. My dad, pick the place, I'll come. So I did. 1 clinic, 1 date. My only rule, no surprises. This begins on my terms. To their credit, they showed up. The therapist opened with, "Why are you here?" Ava jumped in. Because there were misunderstandings. I said nothing, just listened. They tried. Sort of. My mom cried. Ava said, "I never meant for things to get this bad." My dad talked about family expectations and how I took everything so personally. The therapist didn't let them dodge. "You sabotaged his home," she said plainly. They froze like that hadn't crossed their minds before. "It wasn't meant to hurt anyone," Ava said. "You just wanted what I had," I replied, and didn't care if it broke me. We did 3 sessions. They were civil, sometimes useful, enough to prove I wasn't the problem. Then, the 4th session came. Ava didn't. My mom blamed traffic. My dad shrugged. Maybe this isn't her thing. I didn't reschedule. Back home, Nora handed me a drawing. Our house with a big no drama sign in front and sparkles all around it. "This keeps the yelling out," she said. I taped it to the fridge. Top shelf. That weekend, Ava posted a photo on Instagram. Her holding a key, next to a backsplash. Caption, "Holding boundaries and hanging towel hooks. Doing both." Growth. The comments clapped. "You're amazing, proud of you, strongest person I know. Let her have that version. Mine was better, ours was better." I finished the back deck. Nora danced on it barefoot. We made sandwiches and named the squirrels. Gerald returned, this time with a peanut. That night, she curled up in my lap. "Are we still mad?" she asked. "No," I said. "We're just not bending anymore." She nodded. "Good. I like it better this way." So did I. Life slowed down, peacefully. No surprise calls, no chores disguised as bonding. Just me and Nora. Pancakes, bird feeders, bad jokes, better silence. We built things. Bad pancakes named Captain Burnt. A bird feeder hung on the back fence. Nora named the birds. "That's Gerald. He gossips." Then came the texts. "Mom, maybe we should talk to someone." "Ava, I'll do therapy if it's not about blame." "Dad, pick the place. I'll be there." I did. 1 clinic, 1 time, 1 rule, no surprise visits. This starts when I say, "They showed up." The therapist asked, "Why are we here?" Ava, "Things got misunderstood." Mom cried. Dad called it a family spiral. I said nothing. The therapist said it plain. "You sabotaged his home." They went quiet. Ava, "We didn't think it'd go that far." Me, "You didn't think I'd fight back." 3 sessions. That was enough. Ava skipped the 4th. I didn't book a 5th. Back home, Nora drew a picture of our house with a big no drama sign. "This keeps the yelling out," she said. I taped it on the fridge. That weekend, Ava posted a key photo, hanging towel hooks and holding boundaries. Yaka growth. Let her. I finished the deck. Nora danced on it in socks. We made sandwiches, named squirrels. Gerald came back, brought a peanut. That night, "Are we still mad?" Nora asked. "No," I said. "We're just done shrinking." She smiled. "Good." "Me too."